Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the all-new Prologue EV, there's a lot that can impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Paddock and The Pavilion. I'm your host, Stephen Wallace, and today we're off to the races. Joining me is 19-year-old Irish apprentice jockey Gabriella Hill. Not only is Gabriella carving out her own path in the racing world, but she's also continuing a remarkable family legacy. She's the great-great-granddaughter of Charmian Hill, the legendary owner of the famous Cheltenham Gold Cup and champion hurdle-winning mare, Dawn Run. In this episode, Gabriella shares what it's like to be an apprentice jockey, working with Jim Bolger, one of racing's most renowned trainers, her aspirations, and how she's following in the footsteps of her great-great-grandmother, known as the Galloping Granny. Hello, Gabriella. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Yes, thank you, Stephen, for having me.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good. All is going well.
You're enjoying life as an apprentice jockey?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, busy here. 7 days a week, kind of working up here in Jim Bolger's. And I'm enjoying it now, yeah.
What's a typical day like for an apprentice jockey at Jim Bolger's?
So I'd start in the yard at about 6:30, go in and I'd feed the side of the horses that I'm working on, and then go into the tack room and look at the horses I have to ride for the day. We ride 3 lots before breakfast. I've breakfast at about 9:00, and then we've 3 or 4 after. So we finish up riding out at about 11, and then it would just be kind of doing up the horses and making sure the legs are all right. And then we'd finish up for lunch at about 12:30, go racing or that sort of stuff.
So are you regularly going racing as well?
Yeah, I'd lead up now and again, and whenever I'm riding, obviously, I'd be going off in the afternoons or going to the gym or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's easy to forget how fit you jockeys are.
Yeah, you have to be fit, all right, and strong, kind of, from not riding every day. If you're not riding every day, you need to be doing something anyway to maintain like adequate fitness levels, I suppose.
How many horses has Jim got nowadays?
He has I'd say about 95 in the yard at the moment, and I'd say maybe 80 or so riding out every day.
And what's it like riding for a Derby winning trainer, classic winning trainer?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, he's a legend of the game, really. He's very firm but fair character. He likes things done properly. He likes everything to be neat and I suppose as it should be done. But yeah, he's a great person to learn from, and he's produced so many successful people, the likes of Aidan O'Brien and Willie Mullins, and people that have come through his hands. He really he does things right and produces you not only as a rider or an apprentice, but I think as a person as well.
And jockey coaching wise, are you receiving that from? Is Kevin Manning still there?
Yes, Kevin Manning comes in on the work days, which are a Wednesday and a Saturday, and he'd be giving you tips. Like, for example, I was riding in Galway for the first time last weekend, and just giving you pointers of how to ride the track and what it's like. But my jockey coach would be Niall McCullough. I'd go up to him every couple of weeks and go on the horse simulator just to kind of tidy myself up and keep fit, and he'd be there to support you with anything you need, really.
Because as a 19-year-old, you give an awful lot up to be an apprentice jockey.
Yeah, that's it. I'm still in school at the minute. I'm doing my leaving cert next year. This is my final year. I think it's important to get that done as a backup. I think if for injury or anything like that has to happen. But I'll definitely be continuing with my riding, and I'm here on a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, but I'm here all of the holidays and for the month of the summer with him. But it's busy, but it's working well for me at the moment.
So how did it all start for you? You're connected to a racing family, but was it something you always wanted to do? Were you riding at a very young age?
I was. I started riding when I was since I could walk. Really, I had my first pony was called Snowdrop, and I was kind of riding. And then I did a bit of show jumping and eventing, but I started at the weekends in a local point-to-point trainer. To me, I was riding out, and I loved the speed and the buzz that I got from it. I never imagined that I would be taking out a license, but because my weight was good, I decided I'd take out my flat apprentice license. So it was never something I was always planning on doing, but it's led to this now, and I enjoy it, and we'll see where it goes from here.
You never thought of taking out a jump license then?
Well, for the moment, I think I'll stick to the flat for as long as I can, but it's crossed my mind a couple of times. Maybe in the future I might see. I'll see how things go for on the flat anyway.
Because as we said off air, you're related, or you're the great-great-granddaughter of Charmian Hill, who owned and actually rode Dawn Run, the winner of the Champion Hurdle and the Gold Cup. She was known as the Galloping Granny. Have you heard many stories about her?
Yeah, I've heard a few stories. All right, she was quite a unique character, I suppose. She was the first female flat rider under rules in Ireland, and she rode a bumper winner on Dawn Run in Tramore. But she then, in her late 60s, she was told that she had to that she couldn't ride anymore in races because of her age, much to her disgust, I suppose. But she loved her horses, and she probably just tolerated people. But she was a tough woman.
Yeah, I read she rode a novice chase winner at 61.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was she loved it, and I would have loved to have met her, and maybe I think that we might have been a bit alike in some ways, but yeah, she was a great person, I suppose.
Because your grandparents must have met Charmian.
Yes, they did. Yeah, she after Dawn Run won in Cheltenham. They were all up in I think the royal box with the Queen Mother, and I think that was a special day for them all. I would have heard a few stories, not too many, but a few about that occasion, and it was a special day. All right, she had the horse with Paddy Mullins, and Tony Mullins used to ride Dawn Run, and I think then John Joe O'Neill was jocked up instead of Tony. I don't know whose decision that was, but yeah.
Well, it's a very famous. She's a very famous horse, and it's always one of the races they always replay when we have the Cheltenham Festival. Going back to your own career, when did you actually get your riding license?
I got it at the start, September 2023. I came in during my transition year in school for work experience here, and then I decided I asked Mr. Bolger would he sign me on as an apprentice to him, and he did. And it took about 6 weeks then to get the license. So I had a couple of rides last season, not too many. I think now I've about 25 rides under my belt, and I've had a couple of places and one winner at Leopardstown, which is a special day that I'll remember for forever. But that's how it kind of unfolded.
At BlueNile.com, you can find endless ways to make your moments sparkle. From classic and timeless jewelry gifts to creating the custom engagement ring of her dreams, all at prices you won't find at a traditional jeweler. And right now, you can save up to 40% on fine jewelry and 25% on engagement ring settings during the Blue Nile Anniversary Sale, going on now. Go to BlueNile.com to shop the Blue Nile Anniversary Sale and save up to 40%. That's BlueNile.com.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Can you remember the first ride? Where was that at?
First ride was in Navan on a horse called Flafest. We didn't place that day, but it was a good experience, and got a great buzz from it.
And were your parents there to watch you the first ride?
They were, yes. They've been great supporters, like driving me to the races, and yeah, they were there, and my grandparents were there as well, and yeah, it was a great day.
And first winner, 6th of June, 2024, at Leopardstown on a filly called Glor Tyre.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, she had, I think, 2 previous wins to that, so we were going there with a good chance, we thought, anyway. And you know, she was a tough filly, and I got a great buzz from that. Couldn't believe it crossing the line, but yes, that was a very special day for me, and my family were there as well. I think Mr. Bolger was delighted as well for me and the team here. It was a great day.
This is a 1 mile handicap, and you're riding against professional jockeys.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was. I think Leopardstown would be my favourite track to ride around in Ireland. I think it's a lovely, like, fair galloping track, and yeah, it was great.
And on that day, you'd already ridden a second at Leopardstown that night.
I did, yeah, on a horse called Bold Approach, and I'm riding him actually in a ladies' race this Friday. and hopefully we can go there with a chance. We were just beaten a length, I think it was. He was just cut out. But yeah, it was a great day.
You hear the name Approach and you straight away connect it with Jim Bolger, don't you?
Yeah, you do exactly. Yeah, that's right. Dawn Approach and New Approach. Yeah.
And the winner was owned by Mrs. Bolger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mrs. Bolger, she owned it. She was there, and it was great. Yeah.
The filly has gone on to win another race and actually ran a listed race last time out. So decent filly.
Decent filly. Yeah, she was great. She's sold now. She's gone to England, and she should win. She should get listed. She should get black type over there, I think. Anyway, and make a nice brood mare.
After your first win, you were then interviewed on the television. How was that?
I was great. It was kind of in the heat of the moment. There was different people coming up to me. My phone was was buzzing, and I just kind of took it as it came, I suppose. Yeah, I try to keep things cool anyway. Doesn't really bother me too much, but it was good, yeah, to get the notice, acknowledgement that I was getting from people. But yeah.
I always think with jockeys, they're straight away put on the spotlight. You ride a winner and straight away the microphone's right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. That's just kind of part and parcel of it all, I suppose, isn't it? With you just have to deal with what comes your way. Like even in races, I suppose, as well, you just have to get on with it, I think.
How do you find racing against older jockeys, classic winning jockeys, when you're just having some of your first rides?
For me, I try and just concentrate on my instructions I'm given in for the race. Doesn't really bother me too much. I'd never be really feeling like under pressure or by other male jockeys or professionals or anything. It doesn't really bother me too much.
Is that something that you've learned through riding, or is that some of the things you picked up from Jim Bolger and Kevin Manning?
Probably just from riding. I've never told not to pay much attention to it, but I never really felt any pressure or took much notice to it, to be honest with you. I think you just have to do your own thing and try your best yourself, and yeah, it's never anything that really bothered me too much.
It does strike me as like you're a 19-year-old. It's quite, going into a real environment where you're riding against, Irish Derby winners and people that have ridden in major races, and you're only just starting out. You've got to be tough, haven't you, as a jockey?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You have to be tough, and yeah, you've got to be tough and just kind of, I think, keep it cool and keep relaxed, I think, is the main thing. I think, at the end of the day, you're riding horses around a field. You should just, take everything as it comes. And I don't think, like, when you make yourself stressed and panic, it makes things worse.
I guess that will feed into the horse if you're stressed and panicky, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. I think if you're riding something that's a bit hot, you need to keep it cool. You
said earlier you rode at the Galway Festival on last Sunday. What was it like running there?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great to get a ride there at the festival. Great buzz. We didn't have any luck on the day. The ground there would have been a lot of rain that night on the Saturday night, and it was probably a bit heavy for my filly that I was riding. But it's great to get rides around all the different tracks to get a feel for them, and yeah, just to get to know the track. the different tracks.
Had you been to Galway before?
I hadn't been. No, that was my first time there. That was my first time there, and it was a good experience for me. All right.
You hear about the crowds at Galway and the atmosphere. What was that like? Yeah,
the crowds there on the Sunday, it had quietened down a bit. I think because the weather was shocking on the Sunday, but there was still a few people there, and it was during the week. There was tons of people there. There's always a good buzz around the place.
You spoke about it earlier. What about the future?
The future, well, would be continue.
You're so young, so
continue riding winners. My ultimate dream would probably be to make a successful career as a professional jockey, and to ride a classic winner would be unbelievable. So we'll see where things lead.
First thing is to ride out the claim, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the first thing, all right, to ride out my claim, and just to continue, for me now, just keep learning and improving myself as a rider, and learning from other people like the likes of Kevin Manning, and just I think watching racing as well, you can learn a lot from that. But yeah, to ride out my claim and would be unbelievable achievement.
You're certainly in the right place at Jim Bolger's.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a very fair person, and he keep you on your toes all the time and make sure you're neat and tidy, even going out in the lots, and punctual and all that sort of stuff is very important. And as I said, like, a lot of successful people have come through him, so hopefully someday that could be me. But we'll see where it goes, and we'll just keep working hard. And
well, they're all good lessons for the future, and you've also got exams to concentrate on, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Next year it won't be an easy year, but we'll get through it. And the last year flew by, and then we can really get into it. But I think Mr. Bolger, he'd like for me to finish school as well. Like, he knows what's best, and there's still plenty of time. I think a lot of people these days, I think jockeys they're in such a big rush at such a young age to ride out their claim before they're 20, and then things get difficult as well for them. I don't think there's as much of a panic as people think there is to ride out your claim. And yeah, I think just keep going and see what we'll get next year out of the way first.
Well, the best of luck for the rest of the season and for next year, the exams, and hopefully you will, I'm sure, have the determination of your great-grandmother and have a very successful racing career. And thank you very much for being on the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Thank you very much, Stephen. It was great to chat with you.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.